Okay, so back in the 4th grade, you learned how to long divide, right? Now, this is a division symbol, in case you people are that rusty in your brain cells. This is the divisor. I am dividing 142 by 3. Hey, shut up! Can you hear me now? All right.
I'm already on.
So we know that 3 doesn't go into 1, so we had to bring down the 4. So 3 goes into 14 how many times? Okay. So the first step we do is divide, right? And then the second step, what do? You take it's because my ears are not level. Dead serious.
I have a prosthetic ear on. So then why did they make your glasses?
Because they're idiots.
Where'd you go? Did you get the 2 pairs for 8?
Okay, 4 times 3, so you multiply. Get 12. Then what do? Subtract.
Like 5th grade. Nobody else will fight me. Nobody.
14 minus 12 is 2. What's the next step? Bring down. Bring down the 2. And then what do? Start the process all over again. Good. 22 divided by 3, 7. Multiply 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract. Lost my blue pen. And I got 1. Back in 4th grade, what do you call that 1? Remainder. Now, if you were any good with numbers back in 4th grade, kind of bothered you that they call this remainder 1, didn't it? Because in 4th grade, I had no idea what a remainder was. It's a decimal, isn't it? Okay, well, we're going to long divide polynomials using this step-by-step process. Okay, we're going to take x squared minus 5x plus 6 and divide it by the divisor. Okay, the divisor is going to be x minus 3. So I have x minus 3. It's going to divide into. Oh, I should have brought that down a little bit. Let me redo this. Quiet. So I'm going to take x, the divisor, x minus 3, divide it into x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, step 1. Divide. So I'm going to take x squared divided by x. What do I get? X. So there's my division, x. Then step 2, I'm going to multiply. X times x is x squared. X times minus 3 minus 3x. Guys, quiet. This is very difficult concept. I highly suggest, many of you, over half the class has F's right now. F's. You better start focusing here because it's going to get worse. This is not an easy concept. So shut up, put your phones away, and pay attention. All right, third step. Subtract. Okay, x squared minus x squared, 0. Negative 5x minus a negative 3x. Negative 2x, because you got a double negative here. Okay, step 4. Bring down the next number. Good. Start it all over again. Divide. Let's see, I've got a negative 2x. I'm going to divide it by x. And what do I get? Negative 1x. If you want to put the 1 there, that's fine. So I have a negative 1x. Second step, multiply. Negative x. I'm sorry, it's negative 1. It's just negative 1, isn't it? Negative 2. So. My fault, big shot. The x's cancel. Okay, negative 2 times x. Negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3 plus 6. Subtract. Zero. So I don't have a remainder. Okay, this is my answer. X minus 2. Easy, right? As long as you follow the process that you learned back in 4th grade. Let's do number 2. Here's my divisor, x plus 1. I'm going to divide it into x squared plus 6x plus 2. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is divide x squared divided by x, positive x. Multiply. X times x is x squared. X times positive 1 is positive 1x. Subtract. These cancel out. 6x minus 1x. Bring down the 2. Start it over again. Divide. 5x divided by x is 5. So I have a positive 5. Multiply. Positive 5 times x, positive 5x. Positive 5 times positive 1, positive 5. Bless you, my son. Subtract. These cancel out. 2 minus 5, negative 3. Bless you. Now, remember I said back in 4th grade, you, bless you. Somebody's getting sick.
It's your fault.
Remainder's 1, right? If I kept going with that, you were taught to bring in the decimals, right? Put a decimal. Shh. Put a decimal there, and then, you know, bring down a 0. 3 goes in the 10, and then you would get a repeating 3. Okay, this is actually 47 and a third. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do with this 3. Okay, our answer here is x plus 5 plus this negative 3, but we're going to put that negative 3 not over tens or hundreds or thousands. We're going to put it over our divisor, x plus 1. That's my answer. No. If you want to clean it up, you know, make things look pretty, you can put x plus 5 minus 3 over x plus 1. Obviously, I would prefer the simplified one. Yeah, this is a very, very detailed, complicated concept. Okay. Let me do another one, and when you get what you don't understand, immediately stop me. Okay? Like this line? This one? Okay. All right. I'll really try to explain on this one, okay? Okay, here's my divisor. X minus 1. Gonna divide it into 4x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay? Step 1, I'm going to divide. I'm going to take my 4x cubed divided by the first term here, x. That gives me, let's see, there's nothing I can do with the 4. X cubed divided by x to the first minus the exponent, so it's 4x squared, right? Good? You put this 4x squared right above here. Well, then you go to your next step because we divided. Okay, we divided. Now we're going to multiply, just like you did back in the 4th grade. I know, but it's not like I want you to remember. You guys, I'm about to throw you guys out. It's not that I'm like, oh, you're bad because you don't remember. I want you to remember this easy process that you did back in 4th grade. Try to recall that it's a step-by-step process because this is very, very tedious, and I'm trying to make it some way that you got something to follow. Okay, that's why I keep referring back to that because it's if you follow this process, it's the whole way to do this. Okay, Alana. Right. I'm just taking that 4x. I'm doing the second step. I'm multiplying. So I'm taking that 4x squared and I'm multiplying it to the divisor, x minus 1. Okay? You got to distribute. 4x squared times x is 4x cubed. Okay, so 4x squared times negative 1 is negative 4x squared. So I'm done multiplying. The next step, subtract. So I'm going to subtract, subtract. Yeah, these better equal 0. If not, I did something wrong. Okay. Subtract negative 5x squared minus a negative 4x squared. Negative 9x squared. Oh, I'm sorry. Negative, so positive. I'm really not with it today. So, x squared. Okay, don't forget you have to distribute the minus sign. Okay? When you subtract, you're subtracting 4x cubed minus 4x squared, right? So you got to distribute the minus sign. You're actually adding negative 4x cubed plus 4x squared, right? So that's a plus 4x squared. Don't like my minus sign or what? Can't see it? Huh? Because these are x squared terms. All right. So now I'm going to bring down the 2x. You could, but you're just going to be bringing it down again. All right. Start the process over again. Okay. Divide. Let's see. Negative x squared divided by x. It's going to give me a negative x. Okay, then multiply. So again, we're going to distribute, right? Negative x times x minus 1. Negative x squared plus 1x. Right? Distribute. Then we're going to subtract this quantity. And don't forget you have to distribute that negative sign. So we have negative x squared plus x squared. These cancel out, right? 2x minus 1x is just x. Step 4, bring down the minus 1. And what's going to happen? The divisor is x minus 1. It's going to be 0, right? Okay, again, start the process over again. You could just put 0, but don't forget you're going to have to put a plus 1 here. Because when you divide x by x, that's 1, so you have to put a plus 1 there. Okay. So multiplied, you get x minus 1, subtract, and you get your 0. Okay. So my answer, just plus 1. Okay. All right, let's do another one because, like I said, these are not easy. Okay, here's my divisor, x plus 2. Going to divide it into 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus x minus 4. First step, divide. 3x cubed divide by x. I get 3x squared. Second step, multiply. I'm going to multiply 3x squared times x plus 2. 3x squared times x, 3x cubed. 3x squared times 2, 6x squared. Subtract that quantity. These should cancel out. 2x squared minus 6x squared. Get a minus 4x squared. Okay, step 4, bring down the next number. Plus x. Then start over again. Divide negative 4x squared divided by x. Be negative 4x. That goes up on top. Noticing what's happened to our exponents in our answers, okay? So that's going to be important for the next section. Okay, multiply. I'm going to take my negative 4x, multiply to the quantity negative 4. Multiply by the divisor x plus 2. Thank you. Now multiply. Negative 4x times x. Negative 4x times 2. Step 3, subtract. Means you're concentrating. Okay, those cancel out, right? Positive 1x minus a negative 8x. 9x, right? These negative, negative, it's a plus. Okay, bring down the next one and start over again. Divide. Multiply. You're going to take 9 times x plus 2. So I'm going to have a remainder of negative 22, right? Okay, so my answer, let's see, I have 3x squared minus 4x plus 9 minus 22 over x plus 2. It's not easy. This is not easy. It really, really